What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here, and today we'll be taking a look at my newest longbow that I just got from a package. Seems that Shax took pity on me finally and decided to give me something that isn't a helmet for once, and we're going to be going over its perks. And I've got all three longbows that I own next to each other to compare. It's pretty funny, I've been farming Vanguard literally all week, every single day for hours, and I've got absolutely 0 LDRs so far, which is a sniper that I really want. And then I do a few Crucible matches and I get a third longbow, which is just weird, but I guess I can't really complain. And you're going to see some gameplay clips of me using this new longbow in action, me getting a few kills with it, and also at one point, me just being a scumbag spawn trapping the enemy and getting a load of kills with it. So without further ado, I know you guys want to see the perks, so let's take a look. We have, firstly, a Guerrilla Fighter, the best perk in Destiny. This is a God Roll perk. It's OP, and I'm totally being sarcastic. It's the most garbage perk in Destiny. I joke about this perk literally all the time whenever I get it, of how awful this perk is. So I think this game is trying to get back at me for mocking it so much. But there you go, we have a Guerrilla Fighter, but that's not really too important. In terms of the other perks, we actually have for once a good scope. We have the Longview 10, which is finally a low zoom scope. Now that's pretty much all I care about. The only thing I wanted is a low zoom scope. I think the Longview 10 is probably the worst out of the three. I think the second best would probably be the ambush scope, with the best of course being the short gaze 10, which adds the most aim assist to the weapon, and also generally is the nicest looking scope in the game. But like I said, I'm just so happy I finally got a low zoom scope that I can look through, and it just feels like a proper sniper should. It's not zooming in really far, so I'm happy I've got a low zoom scope. Now, of course, we have Guerrilla Fighter, like I said. In the middle column, we've got Speed Reload, which does quite a number on the reload speed, which is pretty nice. We also have Hand Laid Stock, which does a massive chunk of stability and for a little bit of reload. And the last one, Oiled Frame, reduces the range and increases the reload speed. So quite a lot of reload perks here, and that continues on with the last perk, which is Outlaw, which of course is going to boost the reload speed when I get a headshot. So I'm just happy I've got a decent and usable longbow synthesis, and all that matters to me is that it has a low zoom scope. That is the #1 priority for me on any sniper. A lot of people ask me what is the best perks, what is the best scopes. I think the #1 thing you should focus on any of the good snipers, like the 1000 yard, the LDR, the longbow, even the Her Fury, any of those snipers, your #1 priority is a good scope. If you haven't got a good scope, nothing else matters. You can have 10 hidden hands on it, it literally doesn't even matter. The scope is the most important thing, and like I said, you want to get one of the low zoom ones, so I've got that, and I'm definitely happy. I think the next best perk that I would definitely want would be Quick Draw. That allows you to draw the weapon and also aim down sight a little bit quicker. It's a little bit better than Snapshot, which I think would be my second go-to perk. And then other than that, of course, the Hidden Hand is a good one, and things like Triple Tap for PvE. But this thing is very basic. It is just a simple sniper, nothing too fancy, and I already feel right at home using this sniper. I've got some pretty decent clips, as you can see in the gameplay, and this is just my first few matches using the weapon. So if you compare to my previous snipers, this, as you guys might remember, is my first ever longbow that I got. This one has Outlaw again, and also Last Resort as perks. The middle column, it's got explosive rounds, which is pretty much useless, and also Hand Laid Stock and Reinforced Barrels, so I can basically balance between the range and stability. But the scopes, like I've said, are awful. The best option I have is this one here, the Hawkeye SLR 15. I guess also the Taxis 15, which is also a mid-range scope, but I'm not really a fan of that one. And of course, the middle one is Longview 20, so very long range. But the longbow that you would have seen me use quite a lot in mainly Trials highlights and Trials runs has been this one. And I've got some decent clips. It's not the worst sniper in the world, but my default go-to sniper has always been the 1000 yard, which I felt was much better and much easier to use for me personally. But now this longbow will also be one of my go-to snipers that I can use regularly. Now this is also another longbow that I got. I got this I think maybe like 2 weeks after I got my first one, and this thing I pretty much ignored because the perks are so awful. Once again, it's got all long range scopes, it's got partial refund, which is pretty bad, mulligan, which is pretty bad. It does have quick draw, which is a really good perk. Like I said, one of the best perks you can hope for on a sniper. But this thing I pretty much never even use. I haven't even upgraded the perks in this thing, so it's definitely the worst one that I own. Now, one thing that I really love, especially about my new longbow, is, like I said, the reload speed is really high. I mean, naturally, it's got a decent reload speed, but it's got 2 perks that will boost it, and of course, also Outlaw. And most of the time, I'll tend to be getting headshots. So the reload on this thing is always really fast. So definitely one of my favorite features about this sniper. But that has been a look at my new longbow sniper with the God Roll Guerrilla Fighter perk. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and let me know in the comment section what your best longbow or LDR sniper is that you have. And of course, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe for more videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys at the next one.